I did not see that one coming. No. No, sir. No, ma'am. 13 points, home opener. Ugh. Just gross. I mean, just gross. There's really no other way to spin it. And, I'll begin by mentioning you because I always do the show based on what I think fans want to hear. Also very proud of the fact, JJ and I, that we are incredibly interactive with our listeners on our text line at 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Many of you last week were surprised that I didn't flip out, right? They blew that lead, red zone problems, which continued yesterday. We all know what happened with the 14-point swing and ETN going in, a game they should have had, a game they frankly had, and they let it get away. I thought yesterday would be of the woodshed variety. I really did. I thought they would physically pound them. I know Cleveland is a more physical team than Miami, but they were wounded. They walked out there with their starting tackles out. They walked out there with a quarterback right now that is dealing with his nonsense, whatever it is. Their starting tight end and Njoku out. Yeah, great defensive line. But I just figured an opportunity here for Jacksonville in front of the home crowd to really come on out and get things going. And then what do we see? Trevor Lawrence has 16 yards passing in the first 30 minutes of football. I mean, you really can't make that up. And I refuse to do it. I am not going to be a guy who's going to come in here every week and say, see, I told you so. They never should have given him the money. I'm not going to do that to you, all right, because I want to see this thing get turned around. I honestly do. But for the first time, I really got out of there yesterday with some reservations about the direction of this franchise. You need someone who not only delivers the message, but the players buy into it 100%. They are not right now when it comes to Doug Peterson. They're not getting the message. And again, this was the first time I said, I wonder, is he going to be the guy that's going to be able to fix this franchise? He got off to a wonderful start. We all know what happened in 2022. A 9-8 record last year. They let it get away, losing 5 of their last 6. They're not doing the right things on the offensive side of the football. The defense is far from perfect, but it's good enough to win. You held Cleveland yesterday to 2 of 14 on third down. Unfortunately, you had a couple of third down penalties, which created some first downs. And let's give Cleveland credit. They were successful on fourth down, going 3 for 3. But you've had to deal with some adversity defensively, particularly within your contain, when you don't have Savage and you don't have Campbell. Buster Brown was magnificent yesterday, right? Thought Jarian Jones struggled in coverage. He's given the opportunity now to be a nickel and be out there consistently. It wasn't a great day for the rookie out of Florida State. But all of a sudden, you're playing young guys, and we've done the math. You're aware of that. This is the 5th youngest team in the NFL. And on the flip side of it, it doesn't feel like they're trying to win offensively. It almost feels like they're trying to be a little bit too cute. And how do you pay a guy $275 million and he throws for 16 yards in the first half? And then when he opens it up, you hit the rookie for 66 yards. And I don't care where you are. If you're in the stadium, great. If you're watching it from a bar stool, whatever, you're like, why haven't they tried that? Where has it been? Why the dinking and the dunking? Why consistently trying to run the football? And I am a fan of the run. And overall, you look at the first couple of weeks, they've done a decent job. 127 yards yesterday, 128 the week prior. Those numbers should be good enough to win. When you look at the fact that any one of the 3 backs is doing a decent job. Travis Etienne yesterday, 13 carries, 52 yards. That's for, a carry. We all remember what happened back in week 1, Tank Bigsby. And yes, he went out with the injury yesterday, very early. That shoulder situation is now going to be one to monitor. And even, Dearness Johnson, I thought he showed some signs with 5 carries and 26 yards. Unfortunately for him, he got hit with a massive penalty where you had 2 guys moving at the same time. So illegal motion takes away a touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence to Christian Kirk. You score that, who knows what would have ended up happening in this game. 2 weeks in, the biggest problem, and there are several, but the biggest problem on this football team so far is red zone offense. 1 of 4 yesterday. You can't settle for field goals. And in one case, you missed it with the rookie. We all know what happened in red zone a week ago with the Travis Etienne fumble. And when I look, and this is what I mean when it comes to Doug Peterson, and this is what I mean when it comes to the message. He has been stressing that just about every time he meets with us. They either don't listen, they don't care, or they're not getting it. Have you ever been around someone before that you can explain stuff to and they'll look right at you? And you kind of get the feeling that they have this probably happens when you listen to your mother-in-law, okay? When she's barking out orders at you and you're staring right at her, but you have no idea what she's saying, okay? It's a talent, and it's called just not comprehending, not listening to anything that you are saying for one reason or another. Right? And typically in those personal situations, it's because, she drives you crazy or whatever it may be. You wouldn't think that that's the case when it comes to football. But ask yourself, do you do that to your boss? Do you do that to your general manager? Do you do that to your president? Do you do that to your foreman? Do you do that to your sales manager? Do you do that to your shift manager? I don't know. Okay, everyone handles things differently. The message is not getting through to this football team. And right now, the biggest problem is calling plays, calling accurate plays, calling plays that are going to take this football team down the field and put up points. And this is a self-inflicted abomination by Doug Peterson. He has put this organization in a problem that was so easily avoidable by just not saying anything at all about the play calling. He did on the eve of the first game of the year in 2023. And ever since then, this has taken on a story of its own, a life of its own. I mean, the media doesn't even ask anymore. I think it's kind of out of respect for Doug Peterson because he's a very likable guy. And he's also a successful guy. He's won a Super Bowl. Right now, the message is not getting through to his players. I thought yesterday was the most telling press conference that I've ever seen Doug Peterson give us. I think it was Hayes who asked the first question. Okay? He took 12 to 15 seconds with both hands on the podium, and it was silent. He didn't say anything. I don't know if he was gathering his emotions. I don't know if he was on the cusp of saying something that maybe he would have regretted. I don't know. But it's not too often that you see someone like him, or really anyone for that matter, gather their thoughts for more than 10 seconds before he actually did answer the question. It was quite concerning. He did it once last year, and I thought it was more of a health issue. I'm glad it wasn't, but it was a question that was more. Trying to remember what it was. It was more about one direct part of what happened in game. Hayes' question yesterday was a starter. It was more of general thoughts on what you just witnessed, and he had to have known he was going to be asked questions like this. He didn't have anything for you. And I thought he looked completely dejected. I thought he looked defeated. And most alarming, I thought he looked shocked. Like, did we just do that? Were we just that poor offensively? And the answer to that question is yes. So for the very first time, I have found myself now asking this question. Is Doug Peterson really going to take this football team where it needs to go? If you gave Trevor Lawrence the contract that you gave him, damn it, let him go out and try to win or lose the football game. All right? And that was not the case yesterday, at least in the first 30 minutes of football. It absolutely was not. I mean, Gabe Davis is your leading target 2 games in. He was, 3 of 7 yesterday? He's getting the majority of the targets. To me, he's your number 3 wide receiver. Brian Thomas Jr. is making himself slowly the number 1 guy. Okay, well, he caught 2 footballs yesterday. He got 4 targets. He got 4 targets in the first half against Miami, 4 for 4, and the ball was not thrown to him in the second half. How does that happen? That's poor coaching. Okay? Christian Kirk, you saw what happened to this football team a year ago when he went out. Calvin Ridley couldn't carry the torch. No one else in this football team could. They lost. They lost 5 out of 6. Christian Kirk yesterday, 3 targets. He's your slot guy. The majority, the most snaps played in the first 2 weeks is not Christian Kirk. Is not Brian Thomas Jr. It's Gabe Davis. And you and I know Gabe Davis has never caught more than 48 footballs in one season. That's a problem. Now, Gabe Davis is a good football player. He's a compliment. And the sample size is absolutely too small. 2 games in to, make a definitive point that he is the number 1 guy. But I just gave you examples. You're not going to Kirk. And you did during that touchdown, again, Dearness Johnson. And we hear all of this. Oh, I got to get through to the guys. Oh, lack of communication. How? It's your full-time job. That's unacceptable. That comes down. The thing that drove me crazy about Doug Marrone is he took responsibility for everything. And it ended up falling on deaf ears. All right? This is on the coaching staff. Who's calling the plays? We don't know. We think it's press. They're both talking. Again, they've created a life in itself with that, which is really ridiculous. Okay? And it only gets mentioned because you're losing games. But you're losing games now because your offense sucks. And your quarterback said so. By the way, if you missed out, here's what Trevor Lawrence said yesterday when he asked about the Jaguars' offense.
Yeah, I mean, we suck right now, so I'm pretty shocked. Obviously we had a great offseason, great training camp, and we got to figure it out. So we know we got a good group, we got good players, and we can be a really good offense, but clearly we're not. So everybody's got to take accountability, look in the mirror, and fix it. I got to play better. I'm the leader of this offense. It's on me. The wideouts got to play better. The line's got to play better. Running backs got to play better. We got to coach better. I mean, it's everybody, honestly. But we're standing around. We got to take charge. We're standing around waiting on somebody to make a play. Defense is playing their ass off the last 2 weeks. If a team doesn't score more than 20 points on us, we should win every week. We can't finish in the red zone today. Too many mistakes, getting in and out of the huddle. Communication wasn't good. I mean, it's a lot of things. Fortunately and unfortunately, it's what pisses you off after the game. A lot of it we control. We control it, but we're not doing it right. So until we do it right, it's a different story. So. We know the things we got to work on, and we got to find a rhythm as an offense. Too many good players to perform like that. Really, the last 2 weeks.
Trevor Lawrence, that was yesterday, and that was about as angry as I've ever seen him. I appreciate his leadership. Hopefully, it makes a difference. But whether it's him, whether it's Doug Peterson, sooner or later, coming out telling people what they want to hear is not good enough. It's not. You've got to get it done on the field. And now you're a 6-point underdog. You play 1 week from tonight in Buffalo against a very good football team. You have to win that game, or you have to knock off Houston a week later. You now have to win a game early on in the season where you're clearly an underdog. after laying down yesterday at the heels of the Cleveland Browns. Jacksonville starts 0-2 for the 11th time in franchise history. 11 out of 30 years. Oh, I feel so bad for you. I do. I feel just terrible for Jaguar fans. 0-2 again. 11 times in 30 years. And people wonder why I say, oh, I love the offseason so much more than I do in season. It's another rainy, sunless Monday in Jacksonville. And you got a long week ahead of you. And your football team let a game go that they should have won. We're going to uncover that here over the next couple of hours. It's good to have you with us despite everything that is happening. This football team, this schedule becomes manageable the deeper into it you do get. They can still turn this thing around, but you need a big win against Buffalo or you need a big win against Houston. And with that said, for the first time now, I wonder, is Doug Peterson the guy that's going to take this football team to where it needs to go? And right now, this is all on him because of the way he has handled the play calling situation. He has created that mess on his own. All right, opening comments tonight are brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. People are getting taken advantage of financially when it comes to cataract surgery. You know why that is? We don't know what it is. We don't know what cataract surgery is. If your eye doctor says you need surgery, it's an issue, you become nervous. It's like anything else. What you'll see out there, though, in the eye world is something called a surgery counselor. What is that? Well, at Shmunez Vision, they don't have that. Dr. Neil Shmunez, Dr. Catherine Shmunez, they're going to perform the eye surgery on you. They're going to talk to you. They're going to tell you exactly what cataract surgery or any eye surgery is. There are others right now who don't have the time to talk to you. Instead, they'll provide a surgery counselor. Can you imagine going under and not even talking to the doctor who is going to perform the surgery? It's one of the many things that separates Shmunez Vision from everyone else. Check them out online. Just go to Shmunez Vision. You can also get all of their testimonials on Instagram at Shmunez Vision as well. All right, we are absolutely jam-packed on this Monday. Jaguar talk, and I haven't even touched college football. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, but let's start with what is just the biggest surprise. Losing this football game against a really bad Cleveland Browns team. I mean, a Cleveland Browns team that just got pounded by the Dallas Cowboys. And unfortunately, you're on the other side of the first two games to begin the 2024 season. We'll dive into it. As always, the best way for you to join us is on our text line. That number is 641-1010. It's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Learn the ins and outs and ups and downs of the man under center.
Don't just watch the position, learn the position.
Friday mornings on The Drill. Denny Thompson is
The Quarterback Whisperer.
brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations to help you put your prostate health first. Guys, don't put this one off. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
If the Florida heat is getting you down and you're sweating up a storm, fire up a phone call to Florida Home AC and order an AC tune-up. It's the best way to beat the heat and keep your AC unit working at peak performance. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com for their tune-up special and make sure you're primed for the peak of that heat. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and just a phone call away at 777-4300. Order that tune-up today.
This is Hayes Carlion for Skylife Elite. Have you ever thought about aircraft ownership as another potential revenue stream and as a tool for tax savings? Put your tax money to work for you while enjoying the benefits of private personal travel. Skylife Elite has over a decade of experience in business aviation and can guide you through the process with their expert staff. Call my friends over at Skylife Elite at 490-9332 or find them at flyskylife.com to get the rundown on everything owning an airplane can do for you.
Get the latest on the Gators from one of the greatest Gators.
Touchdown, Gators!
Chris Doring joins Dan and Jeff on the drill Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
Go Gators!
Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
What's changed totally inside and out? The Kuhn Flowers massive storefront, and yes, they've totally remodeled the showroom inside too. This is Frank Frangie, and the next time you drive by, stop and smell the roses at Kuhn Flowers.
Hacker here, and I've got something to celebrate. Honestly, I never thought I'd be able to say this. I'm on the countdown to dropping 100 pounds. Yes, sir. 90 pounds already, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss, and I'm just 3 weeks away from hitting the big 100. The best part? I'm reaching that 100 mark in months, not years. Life-changing and life-saving, no doubt about it. I had pretty much given up on trying, but now I'm going to be here for my son, my wife, my family, and most importantly, for myself. I'm living my life to the fullest, and I didn't know just how easy it was to make happen with Awaken 180. When I hit that 100-pound mark, we're going to celebrate big. I'll keep you updated every week as I get closer, and you can even join in on the celebration. Details to come. In the meantime, pick up the phone and make your own 180. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
When you're injured in a car accident and the insurance company denies your medical bills, denies to pay your lost wages, and won't repair your car, it's time to fight back. Time to call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
When were the St. Johns River jetties built? The answer next.
There's always a good reason to compare homeowners' insurance rates. You may be paying too much. Protect your home with a Southern Oak insurance policy today.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
Congress approved plans to build the jetties in 1879, and construction was from 1880 to 1885.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Craving a cold one? Well, zip into one of the great gate locations you see all over town and pick up a cold Bud Light, or a Natty, or an Ultra, maybe a 12-pack of the King of Beers, or some cold Coronas. It's all happening at your local gate convenience store. Slide on in today.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Thank you to Miller Electric. They bring you Monday Night Show, and they've been doing so for quite some time. They've been around for nearly 100 years. No matter where you go in Jacksonville, you see the good folks at Miller Electric because we're building everywhere in Duval. You want to join the team right now? They are hiring, okay? Top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, one of the best working environments you'll find anywhere throughout the First Coast. So join the top culture. It's good people, and they really are. They're outstanding. I almost popped in and said hello to them yesterday. They have a booth, but I decided not to. The Jags were down 13-3. I was like, nah, what do you do when you're upset? Well, you go eat. And you eat more, even when you're not hungry. So I was overfed in the box yesterday, as opposed to go and say hello to them. But they're outstanding people. And I tell you what, check out everything that is available. Just go to Miller Careers, all right? Miller Careers online or millercareers.com. They are an equal opportunity employer, and they're always receiving recognition. One of the best places to work right here in Jacksonville. Love the good folks over at Miller Electric. All right, the only guy I know who's happy is JJ LaSelva because your Hurricanes are playing good football.
Yeah, I just bought my tickets this morning. I will be in Tampa Saturday night to watch the number 8 team in the nation take on USF. I'm semi-nervous. It's like a 17.5-point spread. But I watched the Southern Miss game. They ran it down their throat. They have a pretty good offense. And this coach apparently is on the short list for the next Gator coach.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing I need is the guy beating Miami and then becoming the Gator coach. I couldn't imagine the memes after that.
All right, Billy Napier hasn't heard from Scott Strickland.
God.
Yeah, there was some reports that he might have been canned today. Not going to happen right now. And a very winnable game for Florida as they go to Starkville on Saturday. They're a favorite there. My alma mater paid Memphis $1.3 million to beat the living snot out of them.
And somehow you guys had an opportunity to tie it at the end. That was miraculous because you got outplayed the entire game.
Right.
The offense is just, it was like 20-3 at one point in that game. Like they DJU relied on like a 70-yard touchdown pass. Is really the only thing I can remember you guys doing. But just fumbles everywhere, punt returners running into their own players. It was just like, it looked like a 1AA team.
Well, 3 turnovers and their special teams. You had that situation there with a true freshman returning punts. He was blocked into by one of his players. You had a 4th and 8 where they're getting back the ball. And you jump off sides. Okay, remember when Derek Marks did that here about 7-8 years ago? I mean, so then it becomes 4th and 3. What does Memphis do? They go for it. They pick it up. Well, here's what they want to. They ran a wheel route. They saw DJ Lundy out there, and they said, "Hey, for the 70th time, let's run a wheel route on DJ Lundy." And then they got once again a targeting. So even special teams really hurt Florida State. But that is I don't want to talk about that right now because Florida State is an unfixable problem. Okay? And that's a long marriage you just set yourself into. And I hate it. I hate it for Noel fans. I hate it for myself. Okay? But that is a problem. That is a long, ongoing problem. You're dealing with a head coach right now who thinks he's the smartest man in the room. You're dealing with a head coach right now that does not know how to recruit. And you're dealing with a team with awful body language. Okay? They're still acting like they're upset about being snubbed. And they quit on him. Those guys quit on their coach. They took their ball and they went home because they got left at the altar. And they've continued with that so far this year, Florida State. Again, I refuse to waste any more time on them today. I want to get back to what I believe is a fixable problem. And that is the Jaguars. They got to wake up. Okay? You got to wake up. You can't come out like this offensively. You can't have, when the game is on the line, your offense, you can't have 2 delay of games, and you have to burn all 3 of your timeouts in the first half. That's bad coaching. That's bad leadership. That's bad execution. You can't spin it. You can't. There's no way to spin it. And for the second time now, in 2 weeks, when you needed your offensive line to do their job, they failed mightily. Last week on a really bad call to go for it from your own 32 on 4th and 1, go back and watch the tape on Cam Robinson. He was a matador, okay? I mean, seriously, it was about as bad as you'll ever see an offensive lineman. It was a flat whiff. Yesterday, the two guys next to him, same deal, all right? The sack in the end zone, which led to the safety by Alex Wright, Mitch Morse, and Ezra Cleveland. I mean, how did Ezra Cleveland get faked out the way that he did when you have a guy whose helmet is like a foot away from you? We're not talking about a defensive back against a wide receiver here or a running back juking out a linebacker. We're talking about two big eaters in the ditch. And he went right by Ezra Cleveland. This is, to me, the one part that should aggravate you more than anything. We yelled it. I've been yelling about it forever. This offensive line sucks, okay? It is a terrible offensive line. And they acted like they're the smartest people in the room. Oh, those guys don't know what they're talking about. You, the fans, you don't know what you're talking. I mean, it was said by just about everyone. Fix this offensive line. And they refused to. Look at those two examples with the game on the line. Fourth and 1. And look at the play they ran. And look at what Cam Robinson, who's making $22 million a year. Cam Robinson yesterday gave up 2 sacks. And I get it. Myles Garrett's a great player. He had the strip sack. But come on. Cam doesn't look the part. He's going through the motions. He doesn't look like he wants to be there. Right? He's getting beaten up on a week-to-week basis. Ezra Cleveland, the endorsement came in from Phil Rauscher. Let's bring him back. Give me a healthy Ezra. Ezra's going to be such a star around here that I can see it right now. He's going to have his own cult following. They're going to be Ezra Cleveland bobbleheads all over the place. I mean, come on. He got absolutely abused by Alex Wright. And Trevor's got to get rid of the ball. Okay, I understand if he throws it away, it's a safety, but you can maybe throw it next to someone. The linebacker did a really good job with ETN. I was shocked by the route that Brian Thomas Jr. ran. When you have an offensive line that can't pass protect, why are you running a down and out and up? You do that when you do have pass protection. And Jacksonville doesn't. That's the worst part about this as far as the play on the field. They've actually done a pretty decent job run blocking. At least the statistics support that. But when it comes to allowing 7 sacks in 2 games and not getting it done when you have to, that remains the biggest problem that I have right now. This offensive line is not good. Mitch Morse hasn't really showed anything in 2 games. I thought Brandon Sheriff was good in Miami. We got back to Pro Football Focus grades, and they told us that he was absolutely terrible. Okay, so again, we always give you the disclaimer when it comes to Pro Football Focus. I think you trust your eyes. I think I trust my eyes. I think I also trust the people that I talk with when it comes to the offensive line. They say that things are different, right? Anton Harrison is off to a bad start this year compared to what he did a year ago. I don't have an answer for you there. Okay? Cam never should have returned. Never should have returned. And so there you go. Huge play there with the game on the line. And we ended up seeing what actually did take place. Evan Ingram, that hurts. You know, he only caught 1 ball a week ago after catching 114 last year. So who knows what the game plan was going to be. And I thought Brenton Strange actually played well. But he hurts his hamstring in pregame. And you can't make this stuff up. Tank Bigsby gets blown up when he did to begin this game. So you take him out after the monster game he had 1 week ago. Andre Sisco goes down with a growing momentarily, right? Comes back. Doug Peterson earlier. Matter of fact, let's get to Doug Peterson on Let's get to him on Gabe, Anton, and Andre Cisco. This is what your head coach had to say about those three who went down yesterday.
Gabe just landed on his shoulder on the sideline there late in the game. He's fine. Anton is fine. Cisco's okay. He's fine.
That was a Zoom today on Monday, listening to Doug Peterson, who, for what it's worth, looked much better today than he did yesterday. I really like Doug Peterson. I like him. I'm sure there's some regret with how he's handled the play calling situation because he created this monster. And there's only one way out. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. There's only one way out for Doug Peterson. That is to make an announcement that he is taking back over the play calling. That's it. I mean, that is your only option at this point. And I don't even know for sure that Press Taylor is calling the plays. When you watch Doug Peterson, he is talking. He's involved in the communication that obviously goes into the helmet of Trevor Lawrence, or having a conversation with Press Taylor that goes to Trevor Lawrence. And yeah, we've all heard that Trevor wants Doug. He doesn't want Press. I mean, Trevor's never going to admit to that, even though he looked visibly shaken by this yesterday. That is what's most disappointing to me. All right, a couple of things that really surprised me. Mason Smith sat down. Tyler Lacey sat down. And, you know, you had problems in your secondary because of injuries, so they had to make a couple of moves there. But I didn't get it. And I don't know this. But this is where problems begin. Trent Baalke drafts him. Doug Peterson doesn't play him. Whatever the situation was a year ago, it was a mess with your second and third round draft pick. Okay? It was an incomplete year or failure as far as grades when it came to Brenton Strange and when it came to Tank Bigsby. Mason Smith did not register a tackle. He was not on the statistic sheet in Miami. He did draw a couple of holding calls. I caught up with Mason this past week, and we played that interview for you leading up to the game against Cleveland. Heard a lot of good things about him, but all of a sudden, it's week 2 now, and you're sitting him down. I can't believe that makes Trent Baalke happy about this, that my second-round draft pick all of a sudden becomes a game day healthy scratch. And I'm not going to take just this decision and throw it out there and say, well, all of a sudden there's turmoil inside the Miller Electric Center. I don't believe that, but this is how this begins. When the Shad Khan conversation comes up, it's, hey, I drafted him, he's not playing him. Again, we saw what happened last year with the second, third round pick. Both fourth round picks didn't play. Ventrell Miller didn't play a year ago, right? Tyler Lacey barely got on the football field a year ago. Yasir Abdullah had 47 snaps as a rookie. You're playing your first round pick. He's just not getting targeted. You're playing your third round pick who didn't have a great day. Jarian Jones put in the slot because of the injury to Darnell Savage. It was not a great day for Jarian Jones. Mason Smith's not even getting the opportunity to get out there after what I thought was a good enough opening game to get more at-bats yesterday. It's just something to consider. That's how all of this is going to get started. You know, I have no bones about it. I've said it ever since it happened, and I'm going to stick with it. I never thought Doug Peterson was Trent Baalke's guy. If so, wouldn't it have taken so long to hire him? I mean, it was a disaster. They brought him in and Jim Caldwell in, then they let a month go by until they brought him back. And again, when you win, it's gone. No one talks about it. But when you lose, all of a sudden, yeah. Maybe he wanted Matt Eberflus. Maybe he really wanted Byron Leftwich. Maybe that comes up when you begin losing games, especially when you lose games you should win. Jacksonville should be 2-0 right now, not 0-2. Something to keep an eye on there. And I've always felt that way. Whether you agree with me or not, I'm just giving you my opinion. I've never felt like Doug Peterson was the hand-picked guy for Trent Baalke. All right, we got more to get into. 641-1010. Look at my goodness. Look at the text line. It is just burning up right now. Got a lot of questions that you folks want answers to. We'll try to do our best here, okay? It's fixable. These issues are fixable outside of the offensive line. I don't know what you're going to do there, okay? But play calling is fixable. Targeting Christian Kirk is fixable. Targeting Brian Thomas Jr. is fixable. The early return on the rushing attack is better than average. It has been if you look at these statistics. And your defense is playing well enough to win games. So it's not as bad as it seems. But I know you don't want to hear that. You want a W. You're going to have to pull off an upset in order to get it coming up this Monday night in Buffalo. All right, we got much more to do alongside JJ LaSalva. It's great to have you with us. My name is Rick Ballou. We call this Into the Night.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville where you can score big all season long.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and X to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
Hey, it's Joe C. My friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can elevate your grilling experience with a durable high-end grill from great brands like Coyote, DCS, Alfresco, and American Made, and make an outdoor kitchen custom built to your taste and lifestyle. Visit their local showroom and see all the new displays at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living.
You dream it, we build it. CSS.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is brought to you by Dandy Foods, makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff.
Duck Duck Rooter is currently hiring in all departments. We want great plumbers, CDL drivers, drain field installers, and lift station technicians. If you have experience in your trade and love to deliver a super high-quality level of customer service, you have found the right company. You will enjoy our benefits package that includes excellent weekly pay, paid holidays, health insurance, and working for the best in the industry. Apply at duckduckrooter.com. That's duckduckrooter.com. And click on the careers page. Duck Duck Rooter is an equal opportunity employer.
Integrity, persistence, and standing up for victims. It's what you want in a personal injury case and what my friend and lawyer Glenn Cohen brings to every case for over 40 years. Call Glenn at Barnes, Cohen & Sullivan.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 16, 1995, Atlanta Braves legendary pitcher Greg Maddux sets a major league record by achieving his 17th consecutive road game victory.
Mia here. When it comes to roofing, whether it's shingles, metal, or most repairs,
There is one name that has protected your home since '99. Pro-Jax Roofing. Serving all of Northeast Florida, Mike and his guys have been repairing and replacing roofs for over a decade. Need insurance help? Mike's team can help. Raised in a military family, Mike provides great attention to detail with unparalleled quality and workmanship. They also have warranties, so you can have peace of mind. Call today for a free estimate or online at projaxroofing.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, I've got a simple question. How much does a 1-carat diamond cost?
Frank, that's an impossible question to answer because a carat is only a measure of weight for gemstones. It'd be no different than me saying, I have a beautiful wife. She weighs 125 pounds, which you'd find is a ridiculous description. Diamonds are graded for 4 factors, and carat weight is only one of those factors. The others are cut, color, and clarity, and each of these factors is graded specifically and set by a certified gemologist in an accredited gem laboratory. So when you ask about a diamond's weight, we're going to tell you more than just the price. At Underwoods, we want a customer to understand how all 4 factors of diamond quality relate back to the rarity and value of the diamond. Needless to say, we all understand the value of a dollar. At Underwoods, we want our customers to know what their dollar buys in diamond value. So if you're shopping for the best, stop by Underwoods.
That's at Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, or at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local authorized technology partner and home to Xerox copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors, and with great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? How about scheduling a free consultation or just stop by the Pella showroom right there on Phillips Highway next to Tesla? Pella's professional consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. From simple projects to complex renovations, their team has the experience needed to make your project a success. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson gave an update this afternoon on the status of tight end Evan Ingram.
Evan, obviously, as you know, prior to pregame warm-ups, he's out there running around, getting himself loose for the game, and obviously felt something, in his hamstring, and so it was significant enough to keep him out and hold him out of the football game yesterday. We'll see where he is this week. Optimistic, but we just got to see. Hamstrings can be funny, so it's kind of a week-to-week deal right now with him.
I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The Great Blue Crab House, they rest on Monday. They're back at it tomorrow. Doors open at 4:30. Tuesdays, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 steamed oysters. I can't remember because we got after it. I was there Friday night. I think we ordered 3 dozen, maybe 4 dozen steamed oysters. What a time out there on Friday night. What a blast. the Blue Crab House, right off of San Jose on Julington Creek Road. Thursdays, by the way, as well, $3 drafts, and then Sundays, $2.50 Bloody Marys. They open the doors early on Sunday at noon. The restaurant closes at 9 o'clock, Sunday through, or make it Tuesday through Sunday. Again, they're off tonight. 90-69 Ballou. Fans have been griping about the play calling since game one of last season. At your time, any colleagues and peers of yours dismiss the complaints. Fans don't really know what they're talking about. Calling isn't that important. But yesterday, the game, we've been hearing about the lack of creativity and consistency in the play calling. So where are you on this? I want Doug Peterson calling plays. And I will say this about the fan base. Based on what JJ and I have been talking about for the last couple of years, and based on our response, the majority, and much more than just 51%, I'm talking about deep into the majority, has agreed that play calling is an issue, that the offensive line is not good and needed to be fixed, and that you should have added a veteran pass rush defensive end. Remember, they brought in Trevis Gibson, who's long gone. Those are the three premier issues that has created the most complaints. Yesterday, I almost never do this. Let's go through it real quick here. First drive, Trevor Lawrence, 9-yard pass to Brenton Strange. 2nd and 1. Travis Etienne up the middle, loses 2 yards. 3rd and 3. You have a neutral zone infraction on Myles Garrett. Automatic first down. Jacksonville. Travis Etienne. 5-yard carry. Okay? Then Trevor Lawrence to Travis Etienne for -2. And then Trevor Lawrence, an incomplete deep ball to Gabe Davis. Okay, took a shot there. It was 3rd and 7. Don't love it, but he at least took a shot. Their next possession, 1st and 10 from their own 30. Etienne for 5 yards. Okay, so that's 2 carries in a row for Etienne where he's gone 5 and 5. 2nd and 5. Lawrence, incomplete pass to Gabe Davis. 3rd and 5. Lawrence, incomplete short left to Gabe Davis. That is my problem here. It's nothing against Gabe Davis, but he should be targeted 3 or 4 times a game. Where's Christian Kirk? Where's Brian Thomas Jr.? Where's Travis Etienne again out of the backfield? I get that Evan Ingram, who caught 114 balls a year ago, was injured in pregame, and that ended up being devastating to their game plan. But why is Gabe Davis the central point of your offense when you're trying to get a little something going in the first half? That is a mistake. And it's not like he had beaten coverage and he was wide open. So, you talk about DJ Uiagalelei at Tallahassee. He only focuses on his premier wide receiver. He cannot read a progression. That is not the problem for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor's been blamed for holding on to the ball too late, for trying to make plays. This first half and these first 2 drives in a game in which Trevor Lawrence, I think he was 5 of 11 in the first half for 16 passing yards. 16 yards. Gabe Davis was the premier target. Now, one of those 3, sure. But again, where are you, Christian Kirk? Where are you, Brian Thomas Jr.? Brian Thomas Jr. had one, I believe it was only one attempt, one pass in his direction in the first 30 minutes of play. That is play calling. Now, what I don't know, final thought on this before we get to the top of the hour. What I don't know is the play that has been called and the responsibility of Trevor Lawrence to call the play at the line of scrimmage, to change the play at the line of scrimmage. This is year 4 for him, and this is clearly his offense. But you got the sense when you heard what he had to say after the game yesterday, complete frustration. Something is happening here, all right? From the time the play is being called to actually executing that play out on the field? And I don't know the answer for you. The only positive thing out of this that I can say, and this includes the offensive line, they've had some success in 2 weeks now running the football. And if Etienne doesn't fumble last week, who knows what those numbers are going to end up being. But particularly Tank in Miami and Travis yesterday and Dearness Johnson yesterday. So the three backs have been able to run the football, and that's promising here. Okay, this almost feels like we're talking about an offense that can't run. No, they have been able to. They've been a better running team so far this year. They've been a better rushing team than they have been a passing team. But that sets the tempo for your football team. And it did not work. And that deserves to be talked about, in my opinion. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. Getting a ton in from you. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All Jaguars on this Monday. We may mix in a little bit of college ball, perhaps later in the program, but let's stay with what is working, and in their case, what is not working. That is Jaguars football.
Get insight from the Jags head coach.
I think we're right on track.
Doug Peterson joins the Frangie Show Fridays at 4:05. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars on 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Anderson was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
They're out to test our reputation as the best plumber in Jacks, so we gotta play like the experts we are. Now, who are we? Roland Reach Plumbing! Now that's what a winner sounds like.
Customers always win with Roland Reach Plumbing at plumberinjacks.com.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Hey, there's a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event going on right now at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Monahan's is known for its natural diamonds and gemstones, but we've had so much demand for lab-grown diamonds that now through the end of September, Monahan Jewelers is having a lab-grown diamond and jewelry sales event. We've brought in a huge selection of lab-grown diamonds and jewelry to meet this incredible demand. Lab-grown diamond sales event now through the end of September at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
The
This is Mark Nato. My sons and I have seen the doctors and PAs at Southeast Ortho for everything from lumbar spine stress to elbow tendonitis. Southeast has always been there, been truthful, and always been on point. Everything they say happens. We can't thank them enough for what they've done and the great care that they have taken of our sons.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Now the Performance Painting High Performance Play of the Game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Jacksonville looked to gain some momentum in the second half while facing a deficit, and it would come at the perfect time thanks to their rookie sensation. In the third quarter, Trevor Lawrence would find Brian Thomas Jr. deep for a 66-yard gain. That would help Duval greatly in their scoring drive to cut the Cleveland lead to 6 with 1:11 left in the third. The Brian Thomas Jr. catch is your Performance Painting Play of the Game.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Are the company's Zoom calls getting boring? Might be a good time to order some new logo caps or temporary tattoos. Check them out online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Hey, Hicken here. Are you tired of having your carpets professionally cleaned only to have them looking dingy again? Zero Res can help. I'll tell you what, they have the technology. Zero Res uses its patented ZR water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or shampoos. That means zero residue left behind. And guess what? Zero Res falling back in time for September. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129, and we'll clean a 4th room for free. That's right. The 4th room is on me. Zero Res, man. Spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's a right way to clean.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
Instant Keys saves the day if you have lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call 722-1111.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jacksonville 0-2. 11th time in franchise history. Cover your ears if you don't want to hear what I'm going to say next. They have never made the playoffs after beginning 0-2. Wow. 11 times in 30 years. I still think this thing can change. I had them 1-3. Okay. Yesterday was my win. I have them losing in Buffalo. I have them losing in Houston. And then things, again, become manageable. I still think they need a bit. 0-4 is going to be tough. It's going to be tough in the locker room. It's going to be tough on everyone involved, including you, the fans. They got to find a way to pull off a big win here. Trevor Lawrence has lost his last 7 starts. 7 in a row. I mean, when he went down and they went to C.J. Beathard, he beat Carolina. I'm sure you may have seen today. Beathard is Bryce Young is out in Carolina. It's Andy Dalton. So, and it could be worse. And it's unfair to say, hey, that's all Trevor's fault. They've lost 7 in a row. But still, it's It's the second longest losing streak right now as far as the starting quarterback. Only Sam Howell with more.
Thank God you didn't just give him a humongous... Oh, they did.
A what?
I was going to say, thank God they didn't just give Trevor a massive contract.
Oh, yeah.
When they literally didn't have to. Could have just taken a whole nother year. You know, it's...
Let Trevor Lawrence win the game. Put him in a position to win the game. Red zone offense, terrible. Offensive line, not pass protecting. I think he took on, what did I say, 10, 11, 12 pressures yesterday. 3 more sacks yesterday. That's 7 sacks in 2 weeks. Delay of games in the first half. Not knowing what to do. Travis Etienne made some really interesting comments after yesterday's 18-13 loss. I want you to listen to this.
Most definitely, but as you see, talent doesn't win games in this league. You can be talented however you want. It's all about execution. And you don't have to be talented to execute. And that's what we have to focus on. Just the execution and just, like I say, matriculating the ball downfield. Let's not try to get that 30-yard play every damn time. You know, just get that 5 yards, get that 3 yards. Just move the chains. Keep moving the chains. Kind of wear the defense down. Like I want to say the first quarter, we probably had 9 plays. You see the Browns, they just matriculated the ball downfield, kept the offense off the field, got our defense a little tired, you know. And I feel like that's the way we got to play. We got to find ways to stay on the field for our defense to help them out. Because as you see, we have a great-ass defense. And it kind of hurt for them because I feel like as an offense, we got to find ways to help them. And it's a team sport, you know. And it takes all of us, and that's what we got to do. So I feel like we got talent, but, man, the hell with talent, we need to work hard and execute. We need hard workers, not talented guys.
Not the greatest audio ever. The point of what he said, we need hard workers, not talented players. Okay? Very surprised by this because I believe this team has worked incredibly hard. I did not miss a practice at the Miller Electric Center. I've watched the effort. I think it's a lack of execution. But he's talking about hard workers, and it got me thinking, who could he be possibly talking? Now, listen, if you would ask me about the team I love on Saturday, I can give you a long list of guys who are not working hard in Tallahassee. Okay? Guys who are not fighting. Hell, Dave Navarro and Perry Farrell of Jane's Addiction going after one another on Saturday night in Boston. I mean, that's a better fight than what you're seeing out of the Florida State. You see that story?
Did. It was their first, well, I guess this is their first tour in 14 years, and now I know why.
They're cutting Perry Farrell out. He can't hit a high note. So they're turning up the sound.
Oh, so he was pissed off about that on stage.
Absolutely.
Wow.
He was. Right. But at least they're showing some fight. Who could, and I'm sure it was just a general, a general comment that Travis Etienne made, and he did reference Hank Stram twice, which was kind of cool about matriculating the ball down the field. Who hasn't shown effort? Hard workers. And maybe it's not effort on the game field that we see. Maybe it's classroom study. Maybe it's lifting. Maybe it's, Don't
you think it has to be that? Because if you listen to what Trevor also said yesterday, was like, hey, when we're coming out of the huddle, there's still guys that are asking what the play is, where I'm going, like what? So that makes me think that the classroom end of things is not getting done well enough.
But how? I mean, this is their full-time job.
Yeah. And part of me puts that not only on Doug and the offensive staff, but on Trevor too. Like, if you are the leader of this football team, if you're the quarterback, if you're the guy who's on the sideline laying into people, you need to do that all week. You need to make sure you don't have some dumbasses in your offense who don't even know what the plays are or who don't listen to you in the huddle. Like, that's why he said they had to call time. You know, they were getting into it too late, they said. Into the offense too late, and he would like to have more time to be able to go look at the defensive line and make some reads and stuff like that. So he basically called out the rest of the team, or the offense, without saying any names, which I appreciated. But some of that, to me, is on you.
I want some names here. I do.
Yeah, me too.
I'm wondering because, I mean, I am shocked by this because and listen, I get it. When the media is there, things are different than when we're not there. But I can't. Who was a wide receiver a couple of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago? They signed a 1-year deal from Pittsburgh, and he was a dog. He loafed. I know they signed a 1 year, $9.6 million. It was probably 4 years ago. He loafed at times. You could see that with him. There have been players that haven't always given 100%. I've never seen that with anyone on this roster. So it leads me to believe that it is more of understanding the game plan, understanding what you're trying to do offensively or defensively.
Moncrief.
Yes. Moncrief was a legend. Absolutely. That guy took plays off. He said, I got myself $9.6 million. This team ain't winning games. Here it goes. I'm going to make a business decision. 71-69. Ballou, I want to love Trevor, but how sure are we that he reads defenses well pre-snap and during the play? I thought it was one of his strengths. I did. Now, am I going to take the easy way out with my answer? Perhaps, but I'm going to put it on the offensive line. I am. The offensive line has not been good around here. It has not been good during the Trevor Lawrence tenure. It's hard to fix everything at once. That's why if you go back to even 3 years ago, when I was pounding the table, I said, fix your offense. You can't fix it all. And Trent Baalke, to credit him, he attempted to fix it all. And a lot of these free agent acquisitions ended up being really good football players. But it felt like he put more on the defense, right? Yeah, he got Zay. Yeah, he got Kirk. Yeah, he got Sheriff. Yeah, he got Ingram on the 1-year deal. But for the most part, it was in outscore your opponent. Okay? If you lose 33-30, deal with it. But you're going to win some 30-27 games. I mean, this offense is averaging 15 points a game. Their first 2 contests. They took on a Cleveland Browns team that was absolutely embarrassed by Dallas. Dallas had 25 pressures and 6 sacks. Deshaun Watson looked lost. Deshaun Watson outplayed Trevor Lawrence. So I don't know if he's a great reader of defenses. You notice he hasn't turned the ball over in the first couple of games. It almost feels like that was drilled into his head. Do not turn the ball over. I've said it many times. I don't have a problem with Trevor Lawrence throwing a pick if he's trying to make a play. I don't want the foolish fumble, right?
Which you could see yesterday in that 34-yard or whatever it was run in the first half. He could have probably got the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to, take this hit and B, risk a fumble here. And, of course, they didn't even get the touchdown.
I wish – no, they did not. And boy, yeah. But if he goes for it, especially on the heels of what ETN did last week, I mean, can you imagine what the fallback would be?
If he fumbled in the end zone or something?
I mean – in a way, that should be a credit to Trevor Lawrence.
I didn't hate that. No, I'm like, listen, you're the star quarterback. You don't really need to lower your shoulder and try to do something. You end up like Tyler Van Dyke out for the season. But that's me assuming the Jags would be able to punch it in from 2 yards. But, of course, we know that's a fool's errand to assume the Jags could get in a short yardage touchdown.
We went through their first 2 drives. When I see that the wide receivers, you have 3 targets to Gabe Davis on your first 2 drives, and you do not have one to Christian Kirk or to Brian Thomas, Brian Thomas Jr., that almost supports your question about whether or not he does not read defenses well. That is a fair point. It is. I have to bring up the fact that the pass protection. And you know what? Last week in Miami, I thought the pass protection in the first half was really good. And it was the best football they've played so far this year, up until that fumble in the third quarter, right? They moved the ball offensively. They put up 17 points. If I remember correctly, they scored 17 points in the first half at Miami and had a goose egg yesterday.
I think they had 3 yesterday.
Okay, 3 yesterday. I also want to say their defense, let me look at it again. Jacksonville's defense held Cleveland to 3 points in the second half. Let's see here. Actually, 6 points. Well, 3 points. So they got the safety.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your defense in the final 30 minutes of play yesterday held the Cleveland Browns to 3 points. That's the problem right now. This defense is playing good enough to win. The rushing offense right now, statistically speaking, I know sometimes numbers can lie, but 127 and 128 yards on the ground. Hey, Trevor picked up 33 of it yesterday with that long run. Look at these numbers before the break. ETN, 12 for 52. He had a long of 20. All right. So it's real, and you have to count that. Right? But outside of that, it's 12 for 32. Johnson, 5 for 26. And Tank averaged, what was it, over 8 yards a carry or 7 yards a carry in the very first game that they played. Let me find that for you here as we head to this break. And that was a big blow yesterday, losing Tank Bigsby. Let's see here. Week 1.
Don't you think that's coaching, though? The fact that
12
Tank
for
Bigsby,
73. What's that now?
Don't you think that's on the coach? Like, everyone's just been saying that today on the radio, like, oh, well, Tank got hurt. But, like, why was he in there? Like, why is arguably your best running back returning kicks?
Yeah.
Like, you're asking for that.
Especially when you have 2 other guys who can do it.
That's what I'm saying. You literally hired a guy as a free agent this offseason for that.
You got Duvernay who does it. You got Parker Washington, who is clearly your 4th wide receiver, who can do it. Tank, but they've had him in there all preseason. I mean, that is what they worked with. Yes, but after having a game where he picked up 73 yards on 12 carries.
And he looked like your best running back.
And you didn't even get an opportunity to do anything with him because he goes, I mean, yeah, injuries stink. You never know when they're going to come up.
But that play is so injury prone. Like, everyone knows the kickoff, you're more likely to get hurt. That's why they don't put the running backs back. Well, that's why they don't put, Tyreek back there to return kicks. Of course, he would be the best kick returner, but they're not stupid.
Yeah. And there's quite a few on here asking that same question. Why was Tank back there? So that backfired yesterday. No doubt about it. But look at what they're doing. I mean, this appears to be, as down as I am on the offensive line, this appears to be a better rushing offensive line than pass protection offensive line. All right, much more on this. We'll roll till 8 o'clock tonight. Getting a lot of good stuff that's coming in. If you'd like to join the conversation, you can. Again, it's brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, the number 641-1010.
Everything you need to know about your hometown team.
Jaguars Today.
Go inside the Jags and the NFL every day from 10 to noon with Mike, Tony, and Jags Insiders.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If your ride is making strange noises, don't wait and make it worse. Come to Action Transmission on Merrill Road. My expert technicians can diagnose the problem and likely fix it fast. Experience the difference at Action Transmission on Merrill Road.
Are you an experienced plumber or welder with MedGas certification and you're tired of being undervalued? It's time to make the move to Local 234 plumbers, pipe fitters, and HVAC technicians. With the best pay in the business, you'll earn $36.50 an hour. With benefits, that's almost $50. It's not just a job, it's a career that values you. Join the team that's got your back. Local 234, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit UA234.com to send your resume today.
Equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 16, 1995, Atlanta Braves legendary pitcher Greg Maddux sets a major league record by achieving his 17th consecutive road game victory.
This is Nye Lawrence Stample, former Florida State national champion and the proud owner of NLS Cleaning. Just like on the gridiron, we tackle dirt and grime with unmatched precision. Whether it's your commercial property or your residential space, we are ready to take care of your exterior cleaning needs. NLScleaning.net.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision, an equal opportunity employer.
It only takes a drop of water to cause someone to slip and fall, but it takes a lot more to prove that your injuries were the result of negligence. The store said the floor was dry. Our investigators learned that on the day of the accident, it had been raining.
So the next time it rained, we went back. And guess what? Rainwater was dripping from the ceiling exactly where our client was injured. When you're in for the fight of your life, investigators with 30 years of experience is a good thing. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Ballou for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carlion for MyBookie. Football is back. Winning season is back. MyBookie's here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big, and if it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. But that's just the beginning. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super Survivor and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for a shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus when you're ready to get started. Use my promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Remember, exclusive giveaways and bigger rewards. MyBookie is the lock of the century. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime, and make sure your season is a winning one.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Care you can see.
Febreze. Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Cold beer and good grub. That's what you'll get at Taps on 210. Just a great neighborhood feel where friends and family get together. Check out Taps in the Winn-Dixie Plaza, just west of 95 on County Road 210, proudly supporting our 9 After 5 weekly. Head there for a cold one.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Houston with a 2-game lead 2 weeks in the AFC South. The other 3 teams are winless. Tennessee will play host to Green Bay coming up Sunday at 1. Chicago, what a game last night. I mean, those 2 teams just played hard. Played really good football. Not really good football because there was a ton of penalties. I mean, they couldn't go more than 2 plays without penalties, but it just felt like they were really getting after it. Both organizations last night, Houston as well as Chicago. Of course, the Jaguars will see Chicago later on this year. That game will be played, one of their 2 in London. So the Bears at the Colts, and then Houston goes to Minnesota, one of the surprise teams so far this year, the way that Sam Darnold is playing. Houston favored by 3 on the road. Let's see, Indy favored by 2 at home. And Tennessee is a 3-point favorite against the Green Bay Packers. Monday Night Football, it's one of 2 games coming up Monday night. The first one is Jacksonville in Buffalo. Buffalo favored somewhere in the neighborhood of 5.5, maybe 6. The late night game is the Commanders at the 0-2 Bengals. The Jags game will be on ABC. Or excuse me, the Jags game will be on ESPN. The second game will be on ABC. So not even an exclusive opportunity for the Jaguars and the Bills.
That other game does look terrible, though. I expect Cincinnati to roll over them. But yeah, the Jags, no respect for the Jags. Even when they do get a Monday Night Football game, they have to split time.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to getting to Buffalo again. It's been a couple of years, and Jacksonville has played well.
They own
against
the Bills.
Buffalo.
Yeah, it's definitely a team that doesn't matter where they play. I feel like they play them in London a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But they seem to have owned them recently, the last 10 years, going back to that playoff game.
How cool would it be? Because Miami's beaten up now at quarterback. They went out and made a move today and got Huntley. If, the way that this league works, if Jacksonville could just put it all together, go out there and beat a Buffalo team. The thing I hate about this, though, is that with the staff in Buffalo and with Josh Allen, the quarterback, and some of the premier players in Buffalo, now Diggs is gone, Gabe is gone. They lost a couple of key defensive players, but they remember letting Jacksonville, regardless of where they've played, win some of these recent games. And I want to look it up. Is it 3 in a row for the Jags in that rivalry, which goes back to the playoff win here in January of 2018, right?
Yeah, so no, there's a couple wins from the Bills. So 2016, Bills won 28-21. In 2018, the Bills won 21-24.
Okay. Since then?
Since then, 2 in a row. 2021, there was 6-9. The Jags won. And then 2023, 20-25. Jags won.
So their last one was that playoff win before the game in London?
No, that was a week 8 game in 2021.
All right. Another low scoring.
Yeah, Matthew Wright with 3 field goals.
All right.
I don't remember that game whatsoever. Lawrence had 382 passing yards in that game, though. That was, I guess that's his rookie year, right? That would be Urban's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jags were 2-6 after that.
Orchard Park coming up on Monday night.
And you're not going in November.
No.
So congratulations.
Yeah, I'm I'll get excited about this game once we get closer to it. And this is really going to be very intriguing to see how Jacksonville responds. I mean, right now on the surface, it kind of feels like they don't have a shot, right? I mean, that's just the way it feels. And Doug Peterson said what he said. Travis Etienne said what he said. Trevor Lawrence said what he said. And it just makes you wonder, can they put everything together for 60 minutes? How healthy is this football team going to be? How healthy is Buffalo going to be? Those fans out there are nuts, as we know. and they're going to be liquored up and ready to go and try to take them to a third consecutive victory where they're nearly a touchdown favorite. Right now, the latest is 6. We'll see if any money comes in. I mean, we've got a lot of time. That game's 1 week away.
They looked so good against the Dolphins. Holy crap. But I agree with your point that, like, this is the NFL. I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Jags, who look terrible, go in and beat a team who's been looking great. That's just sort of how the league works. But it's going to be a tough test. Like you said, there's really not too many home environments in the NFL that make that much of a difference. I would say Kansas City, definitely Buffalo, maybe a couple I'm not thinking of, but like Buffalo on a Monday night, that's definitely one of them.
40-10, Ballou. There's been a couple of examples the last 2 weeks where Cam Robinson did not know the play and attempted to execute the wrong block. Well, certainly he failed in that 4th and 1 in Miami. That's the one that really sticks out.
So maybe the text was probably saying that's maybe one of the guys Trevor's referencing.
Could be. Absolutely. Could be. Yeah, I mean, as far we have no idea. I mean, I've never questioned the effort of Cam Robinson. I've questioned his durability. I've questioned his selfishness for getting popped for 4 games with PEDs. And I certainly question the fact that he's making $19 million more a year than Walker Little. I mean, to me, that just smells. But I always wonder why he wasn't hired in 2021. Doug Peterson, that is. Yeah, he wasn't. I mean, it was all about Urban in 2021. 40-16, Ballou. Let's bring in Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is absolutely, if it does get to that point, he is going to be the most attractive coordinator. Now, here's where you are. You're bringing in a guy who's never done it before. Okay? You tried that with Gus Bradley. Doug Marrone, Doug Peterson have done it before. Urban Meyer had done it before, obviously, on Saturday, never on Sunday. Ben Johnson bringing Mark Brunell as the Jags offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. Yeah, I'm sure Mark Brunell is probably looking to become an offensive coordinator somewhere. Will Ben Johnson bring him here, back home from Mark Brunell, or will Dan Campbell say, Mark Brunell, you're now our offensive coordinator? I have no idea. We're putting the cart ahead of the horse a little bit. I've always believed this. When you give this amount of money to a quarterback, you have to hire an offensive coach. Okay? But maybe the best 2 candidates who are out there right now are defensive coaches. What if you could get Bill Belichick? What if you could get Mike Vrabel? Okay? Those are 2 really good coaches. They're defensive coaches. Okay? I want the best offensive mind that you can get. But again, if it is Ben Johnson, you're talking about a guy who has never done it before. It's going to be fascinating. I hope that's not the point. I don't want to see anyone lose their job. I'm not a fan of just taking bodies and throwing them out the front door. I'm not. I don't want to see another rebuild and a coaching change. You don't want to sit through that again. Fix this. Hey, the first thing that needs to happen, Doug Peterson needs to come out and announce that he's calling the plays. Get rid of that crap. Get rid of everything else. It's not working.
What if he's been calling plays?
Well, then come out and say Press Taylor's calling plays.
Because like you said, I'm watching the game yesterday, and he's doing a lot
he is
yapping, and he's got his chart, and, he certainly looks like he's got a lot going on.
This would be such a non-story if it was handled differently. And that's on Doug. He looked really... What did you think of him yesterday when you saw him after this loss?
I have a different take because I work radio. So I'm going to do it. I'll just call it like I see it. I think it was phony. So yesterday he goes and he talks to the press, and he has a press conference first, and that's when he did the take a long silent pause when Hayes asked the question to get my thoughts together, whatever. Fine. But then when he does his interview, like immediately after the press conference, he comes and talks to Bucky Brooks for our radio and does an interview. He did the exact same thing where he like took like a long, really long, awkward silence and goes, as you can see, I'm at a loss for words. Like, dude, you just did that 10 minutes ago. And then you did a whole press conference. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, okay, you're at a loss for words. Why are you still at a loss? Why are you doing the exact same thing knowing that the radio audience would not have seen that or heard it? So, yeah, I don't buy that. It's all an act, just like all coach speak is an act to me. I don't buy it. And if you are at a loss for words and you don't know what's going on or how to fix it, then, wow, that's an even bigger issue. No. That's a massive issue.
I haven't heard that opinion yet.
Well, most people didn't hear it, on the radio.
No.
He did the exact same thing.
Because he fooled me.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, that's phony to me.
He fooled me. He did it once last year, but it was different. I thought it was health-related. I was actually scared, if you remember me talking about it last year. It was a question by Demetrius Harvey last year, and I legitimately was like, what's going on here?
Right.
And I was like, I hope he's okay. This was totally different. This was, in my opinion, a loss for words, collecting thoughts, but you're not a buyer here.
No, maybe it was the first time, but like, why are you doing that again? That's to me him trying to show the media.
Is he that good? Is he going to take my job here?
If
they say goodbye to him, is he going to become a radio host?
To me, that was him showing like the fans and the media, like, man, this isn't on me. Like, I don't even know what to say. And he's been saying that. He said that at the press conference ad nauseum and in the radio interview with Bucky yesterday. Was like, hey, the players have to take some accountability here. Like, he said that like 3 times. There's only so much we can do, we as in coaches. Like, the players have to start taking some accountability here.
There's no doubt.
They're professionals.
And that was one of the best things he said a year ago when he talked about players policing. And players being able to do things that coaches cannot. Niall Lawrence Stample made that comment about Florida State a week ago.
Right.
He won a national title with Florida State. And Telvin Smith and LaMarcus Joyner and Jameis Winston and even Jalen Ramsey who's never wanted to be a leader. At times would get on people. You need, and I know there's a difference between college and pro. We were told that there's leaders on this team and that they brought in leaders. What's the first thing you heard about Eric Armstead? He's a leader. What's the first thing you heard about Mitch Morse? He's a leader. Darnell Savage, he's a leader. I don't know.
But if you're Mitch Morse, like, how can you lead when you are playing terribly, when it's your first year here? Like, that's not how leadership works all the time. You can't just bring a guy in because he used to be a leader somewhere else. Well, his career is on the back end. He just got here. Like, he's not playing well. Is he supposed to be the one yelling at everybody, being like, get your act together? Like,
it should be Trevor.
Exactly.
It absolutely has to be Trevor. And I don't know who the leader is on that offensive line.
It's not Cam.
No, it's not. Anton's got a little bit of a personality to go that way, but he's only played 18. Yeah, he's only played, 19 career games? I never saw it with Fortner, and he's not there now. I never saw it with Sheriff. I've never seen it with Ezra Cleveland. Leadership is just such a big part of this, but it's different compared to leadership in high school and in college, where you can get rah-rah guys who aren't necessarily really good players, but they help in that area. That does not work in the NFL. The only people they are going to listen to are great players. And that is where the leadership changes once you get to that, to that level in the NHL. All right, we got to take a break. Why don't we do that? Final one of the night. Hacker Nation will join you at 8. We'll be with you again tomorrow night, 6 to 8, right here on a Tuesday.
This is the last
play of the game. After the game, join Hacker, Leon, and Coach Campo for the Window World of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law. Zach's got your back. 2 hours after the final whistle on game day on 1010XL.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Tired of changing out bad sod year after year? Get it done right with Roundtree Sod. Big or small, they have it, and always supplied farm fresh. For a lush, legendary green lawn, call 7414-SOD for a free estimate. 7414-SOD.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Go inside your home team's locker room with Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline.
Check out my blog at 1010XL.com.
So you can catch all the news and nuggets you need to know.
My blog is brought to you by Roland Reese Plumbing,
where quality and experience count. Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The Miami Hurricanes absolutely plastered Ball State on Saturday, 62-0. Cam Ward, 346 yards and 5 touchdowns through the air for the Hurricanes. They outgained Ball State 750-115 and set a new school record for yards in a game. It was also the biggest shutout win over an FBS opponent in Hurricanes history. The Hurricane Report brought to you by Performance Painting.
This is a one-of-a-kind Gabriel fashion sale.
Rings, bracelets, earrings.
All new for 2024.
For 3 days only.
September 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your home and save big? Now's the perfect time with Renewal by Andersen. For a limited time, it's buy one, get one 40% off on all windows and doors. That's right, buy one, get one 40% off plus flexible financing options to fit your budget. Our custom-built energy-efficient windows and doors are made with Fibrex, 2 times stronger than vinyl, giving you the durability you need and the savings you want. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to book your free consultation today. Don't wait, this offer won't last. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613. Proud partner of the Florida Gators.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com. WM.com and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, presented by FIS, is home this week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark for the final games of the 2024 season. Tuesday through Sunday, the Atlanta Braves affiliate is in town. Don't miss the final Coors Light Thirsty Thursday and fireworks Friday and Saturday. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball, affordable family fun.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows in $2.95.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, Doug Peterson met with the media today. Did so on Zoom, and I thought it was a much better press conference today than yesterday. JJ and I have different feelings on it as far as what we got out of it, but he looked like a guy that had slept on it. And I will say this, even though they're a 6-point underdog here at Buffalo, he knows that and believes that this team can still win. And that's where you're at right now. Again, the beginning part of this schedule is absolutely brutal for Jacksonville. I had them at 1-3. The only problem is I had them winning yesterday. I had them losing at Miami. I had them winning against Cleveland. I had them losing at both Buffalo and Houston. 1-3. And then beating Indy here and going off and winning in London against teams they should beat in Chicago. Going off to London, beating both Chicago and New England. You know, it's still it's a year where we've seen tons of injuries across the NFL. It's a year in which we've seen some really big upsets in the first couple of weeks. And, you know, I mean, just look at Minnesota yesterday over San Francisco. New England knocked off Cincinnati on opening day. I mean, this league.
Vegas beat the Raiders yesterday.
Absolutely. The Raiders are 0-2.
You mean 2-0? Are they the Raiders or
the
the Ravens? Yes.
Yeah, Ravens are 0-2.
Yeah, there's a few good 0-2 teams.
So this thing can be turned around in a heartbeat. I mean, you go out and you beat Buffalo on Monday night, then all of a sudden, and you know what I want for the NFL, what I want for this fan base too is we've never had it. Some guy says, "Hey, Ballou, you know, Buffalo's on a rivalry." Okay. I mean, I feel like it is a little bit around here. A lot of that is because of Bill's Mafia. But, again, Jacksonville doesn't have great rivalries. The NFL in itself doesn't have great rivalries compared to what we see in college football. We just don't. But I would love for a Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud rivalry to emerge here over the next decade plus. And right now, Houston, clearly the better team. Look at the juice with that club last night. And you could say juice is overrated and whatever it is, but just look at their and they made a ton of mistakes. And what did Houston have? 12, 13 penalties last night? That game was just terrible. Let me look it up right now as far as accepted penalties. I know quite a few ended up getting declined. Let's see, last night's game, before I bring in Hacker Nation. Penalties last night, 21 penalties in this game that were accepted. Again, there were quite a few that ended up being declined in this matchup between Houston and Chicago. For what it's worth, Houston last night had 12 penalties for 115 yards.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
All right, Hacker Nation, get ready for your Monday night show. I know you've already had an opportunity to express yourself during the fifth quarter.
Yeah, fifth quarter is about venting, and now you take a deep breath for about 24 hours and you kind of reassess. And I'm still pretty angry about what we saw, particularly in the first 2.5 quarters yesterday with the offense. And obviously, I wasn't the only one unhappy. Trevor Lawrence, that's probably the most animated I've seen Trevor at a press conference. I mean, he was ticked, and he should be ticked. He should be ticked at his performance, the other people on the offense, the offensive line. It was a complete system failure for 2.5 quarters on the offense yesterday.
ETN's comment about hard workers, what did you make of that?
I don't know. I think they're gasping. They're trying to grab straws, I think.
I mean, is there a guy in the locker room that we're not aware of who's a dog that doesn't work hard? I mean,
no.
It almost felt like something like that could be happening.
No, but I mean, like today, I'm so sick of this. The Brian Thomas Jr. had a wide open play if he didn't get beat for a sack for a safety. Well, you did get beat for a sack. Trevor's on his back. Don't give me this could have happened and that could have happened and this could have. No.
I thought it was a bad play call. Why have a guy run that route when you're in the end zone?
How many times does a double move work when you're in your own end zone?
Well, not only that, but I don't know. Maybe, your combined salary of what is Morse and Cleveland making?
More than you and I.
Yeah, right. How about you block the defensive tackle that I didn't even know his name? Right? The guy that I literally didn't know who he is. Yeah, Alex. I knew what Alex Wright in WCW wrestling back in the day. I have no idea who this guy was. Maybe you block him, and then you could have completed the pass to Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, that's what's frustrating to me is I defended Balky the entire offseason, and I still think he did a good job. But the one concern, and everybody had it, and even I said it was my one caveat, was the offensive line. And the offensive line has not been good the first 2 games. There's no doubt about that.
What is coming up tonight?
Well, obviously, we're going to do a lot on Major League Baseball. No, we're going to do a lot of Jaguar talk. We got Monday Night Coaching with Campo. Dave Campo joins us. And then we're going to do a little Florida in the 9 o'clock hour. Jesse Simonton is a national college football columnist for On3. He wrote an article this morning about how basically the Florida football program has been broken since Jeremy Foley is no longer the athletic director, going all the way back to 2016. Really interesting piece. We're going to have Jesse on to talk about it at 9 o'clock.
I had someone today tell me that don't be surprised if Jeremy Foley comes back on an interim. I was shocked when I heard that.
Wow. You know what? I would be all for that.
Yeah, I know you would, but I'm just taking it for what it's worth. I certainly... Whatever. We'll just leave it alone. Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if that happened, but who knows? Foley's a Boston guy. He's a very likable Gator. Like me. A very likable Mole, right? Hey, listen, I apologize. I got hundreds tonight on this text line. I'm not going to be able to get to most of you. It's just been too crazy, but we'll do it again tomorrow beginning at 6 o'clock. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. My name is Rick Ballou. Hackers coming up next. Again, join us on Tuesday, 6 to 8.